We all want to serve like this. But a lot of times we end up looking like this. In today's video, we're going to cover how you can improve your serve, increase your power, and win more points without losing consistency. Let's get into it. Welcome to High Five Pickleball, where we help you play better, win more, and make the most of your time on the court. My name is Adam Richards, and I recently played with top 5 pickleball pro James Ignatowicz. If you don't know who that is, he was a standout pro in 2023, and he has one of the biggest serves on the pro tour. My time with him inspired me to improve my serve, so in this video, I will share a simple step-by-step approach to improving your serve through progressions. By the end, you'll learn everything you need to take your serve to the next level. Also, be sure to watch the entire video because I'll be sharing a few pro-level secret tips throughout that I learned from James and how you can get some free pro-level tips from him in the future. All right, let's get into it. Before we get into the practical tips, I want to talk through strategy. The serve in pickleball is the only shot where you have complete control over. So why not have a strategy? Why not have a plan? And if you don't have a plan, the first thing I would say is focus on consistency. You want to be aiming to get the ball in 80 to 90% of the time. Once you can get to that level of consistency, you want to be focusing on applying pressure to your opponent. So when you're applying pressure with your serve, there are a few things you want to be looking for. You want to be looking to force an awkward contact point from your opponent. So they're returning the ball maybe up here or maybe from an awkward point behind them or closer to their body. And the other things you want to be looking for is pushing them back to where they're basically returning off their back foot, or maybe they're taking a step to the side and having to return while running. So remember, consistency is priority number one, but then once you get that 80 to 90% consistency, you want to be applying pressure to your opponent and getting an easier third shot with every rally. All right, so if you're really wanting to maximize your serve, the first thing you have to do is use your full body. A lot of times what I see are players who just use their arm and maybe their upper body, and it looks a little bit like this. Now, while that's really good for consistency, it's not going to apply a lot of pressure to your opponents. Instead, what you want to do is use your entire body. So to keep it simple and to break it down into parts, the first part would be the weight transfer. And this is one of the most overlooked parts of using your entire body. And when you only use your arm or maybe your upper body, you're leaving a lot of power on the table. Imagine you're just using your arm like this. It's not a lot of power. But if you actually step into it, you can engage more of your body, apply more force, coil up without even hitting a ball. It's good just to practice this motion because it might feel a little strange. What you want to do is you want to start in a closed stance and load up on your back foot and shadow that shot, step through, and finish inside of the court like that. So I know it's going to feel a little strange at first, but this is that weight transfer that could unlock a lot of power in your serve. The next part of engaging your entire body and activating that kinetic chain is the rotation. And what that looks like is you're rotating your shoulders, you're rotating your torso, and engaging your hips in that shot. And a little extra tip here, if you use your non-dominant hand to pull your body through and torque, that can actually add more spin on contact and apply more pace to that shot. Put it all together, here's what it looks like. You start in your closed stance, you're coiling up on your back foot, and when you get ready to serve, remember you're gonna step through that shot, you're gonna rotate, and you're on contact, and you'll feel a lot more power generated through that ball. One last thing to remember here as you're transferring your weight and getting used to this movement is once you finish inside the court, you always want to get back, take a few steps back and get ready for the return, because if you make a bad habit of finishing up here and expecting the return here, your opponents are going to return the ball, and because the ball has to bounce, you're going to be pushed off of the line and hitting a ball while on the run or falling backward. And you never want to do that. You always want to keep the ball out front. So remember, transfer your weight in, take a step back, and get ready for that return. The fact that you're still watching is a pretty good indicator that you like improving your game and you're into pickleball tips. If that's true and you haven't joined the Path to Better Pickleball, definitely go check that out now. It's a free downloadable skills guide and 10 step-by-step videos that will help you improve your game over the course of 30 days. So what are you waiting for? Go check it out. Click the link in the description. All right, now that you're using your full body with your serve and you're activating that kinetic chain, what you want to do, you can't stop there. Because if you serve it short with a lot of pace, the ball will slow down and the ball's still in front of your opponent, and that doesn't apply a lot of pressure. What you want to do is serve it with pace and get it deep. So what I have here are some cones. I'm going to try and serve it past these cones here. It's about 3 feet from the baseline. Got a basket of balls, and I'm just going to work on serving it deep. One thing to remember here as you're experimenting with depth, you can start with height and get it high, get it deep, but then start dialing it in with more pace as you get more depth. All right, remember, if you're practicing on your depth, you don't have to do everything at once. You can do things in progressions. So maybe start just getting it deep, getting it high. Then once you feel comfortable there, you can start applying more of your body, more of that weight transfer, more of that rotation, adding more pace, and while getting it deep. All right, so now that you've got more power, you're engaging your full body, you're serving deep, let's talk about topspin. Topspin can be really beneficial for your serves because it can kick off of the ground and it can dip and create an awkward contact point for your opponents. And this just sets up an easier third shot and really creates opportunity for you as you're serving. So to keep it simple, there are just a few main components with adding topspin to your serves. The first one is hitting the ball from low to high, like that. The next is brushing up on the ball at contact. And then if you want to add a little bit more topspin, what you can do is you can lag and bring the butt cap almost like you're bringing it to the ball, but then whenever you make contact, it helps you brush up on the ball at the last second. And then to add a little bit more, what you can do is you can apply a little bit of a twist in your forearm and in your wrist at contact. That can add just more torque and more topspin to the shot. If you're going to experiment with adding topspin to your serves, do it in progression similar to what we did with adding depth. Start with just getting a feel for that motion. Don't do everything at once. Get a feel for that. Get a feel for dragging the butt cap and that lag. And then you can start adding more of your body and more of a weight transfer and a torque. So as you get out there and experiment adding topspin to your serves, remember to look for that dip as you hit it. You want to see a dip at the last second, and that will be a good indication that you have added topspin to that serve. The next tip is to be unpredictable. If you serve the same way every time, your opponent can eventually adjust and return the ball in such a way that it makes your third shot harder. So remember to experiment with different heights, different paces, different angles. That way you always keep your opponent guessing. If your opponent is comfortable, remember to do something that makes them uncomfortable. And lastly, always remember to serve the point. If the game is 10-10-2 and you're serving, the last thing you want to do is go big, hit a big serve, do something risky, hit the ball into the net or hit it out and lose the game because of that. Always remember, consistency is priority number one, but then once you're in a place in the game or at the point or maybe in how you feel that day, add more pressure and apply that pressure to your opponent through the serve. All right, now it's your turn to apply these elements to your game. I promise if you can add all of these, it will change your game for the better. Remember, when you practice, don't worry about adding all of these elements at the same time, but instead take them one at a time and build as you go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps your serve. If you want access to tips from James Ignatowicz, check out this link here on the screen. I will also include it in the description. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another update from High Five Pickleball. Thanks for watching.